Morning, welcome back. Today I'd like to talk about running backpacks. So if you're interested in a running pack just for the day, or if you're considering multi-day fast packing, this video is for you. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so I'm going to focus on two products today which I own, and one of them I've had for a long time and one of them's new. So the one I've had for a long time is the Salomon Advanced Skin 12. Okay, so I've had this for about 5 years, and I ummed and erred an awful long time before I bought it, actually, because it wasn't cheap, but I'm very glad I did buy it. And the cost per use now is 0.0 whatever of a pence per use now. It's definitely paid for itself, and it's still going strong. So what do I use this for? It's basically, it's great. It's very light. It's less than 300 grams, and it fits like a piece of clothing. There's no rigidity to it at all, but the mesh on it means that you don't get, sweaty and sticky in it. It's really good, and it's got pockets on it. So why do I use it? Well, I go out running, and most of the time I'm not, I run out into the countryside, the local countryside. So you might be 2 or 3 miles from the nearest town or village. So this is great because in the back, always, in case of an emergency, windproof stroke waterproof jacket, weighs pretty much nothing, and in case of a real emergency, a space blanket. So just imagine worst case scenario, I fall over, break an ankle, 2 or 3 miles from any sort of civilization. Now when I run, I wear an Apple Watch. And so if I fall, it sets off the fall detector, which I have set off more than once, actually, by falling. And it says, looks like you've fallen over. Are you okay? And you need to press the button within 60 seconds. Otherwise, it's going to contact your emergency contact, via my iPhone, which is also, I always carry in this, and also the ambulance service, and give them your GPS coordinates. But even though it's going to do that, you could be there with a broken ankle for a couple of hours, couldn't you? So in the winter you could be in a real pickle. And so having this on means I've always got a space blanket. And sometimes you go out, weather can change quite quickly. You can be out 1 minute it's lovely, the next minute it's blowing a hoolie. And having this has saved me more than once. So these are things, they weigh next to nothing. I put them in the back of this pack and forget about them, and I've always got them. And also, it's got pockets, a couple of pockets on the front, so I can put a water bottle in there. I can put a phone in the other one. It's got a zip pocket here, so I can put my keys in there. And if I want to carry a little bit more, it's got this big kangaroo stretchy pocket on the back, which you can easily reach round to. You can put a coat in there, whatever, extra water, whatever. And so, yeah, I use this all the time. It's been a very good buy. And when it does finally die, I know these days every brand's got a race vest out there, but I would buy exactly the same thing again. Definitely, it's worth the money. It's the larger one that Salomon do. They do a 5 litre one. I'm very glad I bought the large higher capacity one, because it just gives me flexibility really to carry more stuff. So recently on when I went out for the Wales adventure and did a 2-dayer, I had this packed capacity because it had waterproof coat in it and a warm coat and all my electrical stuff in there along with the other stuff, and it just about fit everything in. So it was great for that. Yeah, I really do like this. Anything to be aware of with this? I think one thing to be aware of with this is the zips. They might have improved it. So it's 5 years old now, and the design will have changed slightly since I bought this. But one thing you get is you get sweaty, and then it gets on the zip, and you get like this white crust that can build up. So when I wash this, before I put it in the wash, wherever the zip currently is, I move it up, down, whatever, so it's not in the same place. And then when it comes out of the wash, I'll just run a little bit of oil down the zippers, just because otherwise, if you don't do that and you leave the zip in this, some of these you might not open very often. It's got side ones, a couple of side ones which are useful for gels and things, food. So you might not open them very often, and then if you don't move them, then they can end up getting stuck, and then you can break the zip. So yeah, but as long as you do that every time you wash it, move the zip before you put it in the wash, and then when you take it out of the wash, move it again while it's drying, and then put a little bit of oil on the zip or wax, whatever. Then it's going to last you an awful long time. So if it's so perfect, why did I buy another one? You might be asking. And what did I buy? Yeah, well, yeah, I bought a larger pack. I bought a Montane Trailblazer 30. So you can't really get it all in. It's so this is a much bigger pack. It's 30 litres, and it's designed really for fast packing. You can use it as a walking pack as well, but it's perfect for fast packing. So over the winter and into next spring, I want to continue my Welsh adventure. So if you watched it, before I've done from Prestatyn to Abergele to Llandudno to Llanfairfechan, and I'm slowly working my way down the coast. So it'll be Carnarvon next, and then all the way down the Clyn Peninsula down to Aberdaron, then back up the other side of it up to Abersoch and Pwllheli, down to Porthmadog before heading inland to Snowdon. Now, for those, the next couple of adventures, I'm going to be out in the wilds more. So the last couple I've done, there have been places where I can stop and get a coffee or food or what have you. But I can't really rely on that for a longer trip. So I wanted a pack that was big enough that I could get sleeping bag, coat, bivy bag in it, and it's perfect for that because it's just I've got my cooking kit in it, my bivy bag, my sleeping bag, and some water, and that filled it. So it's great. So it just fits everything in, but there wasn't too much extra space left over, because if you get a big pack, the temptation is just to fill it, and then you can end up carrying the kitchen sink, which can be quite uncomfortable. So yeah, so I could fit quite a lot inside. It's also got this kangaroo pouch on the back, things you want to reach for, like a extra water bottle, coat, things like that. On the sides, it's got some zip pockets on the sides, but it's also got a big pocket there for you can put a water bottle on either side. On the front, it's got a place for a hydration system, so you can put your bladder inside, and it feeds through onto the strap. Okay, there are a couple of pockets on the straps, one on each side, big enough for an iPhone or equivalent, and your keys and what have you. Yeah, it would be nice if there'd been a little bit more pocketing on the strap, but I guess that would be putting more weight on your shoulders, so I can understand why they've not. There's also a nice big pocket across the top. Lots of pockets, in short. So that's a basic intro to it. Let's have a look at anything else. It's got this nice foam on the back, because that's one of the things about the Salomon pack is it looks lovely form fitting. You wear it and you're completely unaware you're wearing anything at all. It's like, because it just fits you like a glove. However, if it's filled to capacity and you've got anything hard in there, you can end up with something poking in your back, and which isn't comfortable. You end up with a bruise. Whereas this, it's got padding, so that should reduce that. It's also got the same padding on the straps, which is good, though it doesn't seem quite as thick as the stuff in the pack. I'm sure there's a reason. So yeah, that's that. So next, let's talk about setting it up. Okay, so let's set this pack up. Okay, here, so you can get a proper look at it now. So here's those hip pockets, water bottle in there, another hip pocket, nice big stretchy pocket on the back. You can tighten these to draw it together. Massive pocket inside, look at that, and that's all pulls together nicely to keep it dry. Pocket there in the lid with somewhere to put your keys. Mesh pocket on the top. If we look at the back for setting it up, it's got this clever back system. So let's just talk about walking first. So if I'm going to use this for walking, undo the Velcro there, and then release it on the back as well, and then stretch out the back to the right length for your back. So for me it's long, and then these then will sit nicely on the hip and do up, so that the weight of the pack is all directly on my hips and then down my legs. Also for walking, there are these two straps here at the top, which I would loosen right off so that the pack is away from my body and tilting in. I find that the most comfortable. Of course, it's entirely up to you how you like to wear the pack, but that's what I found nice for walking. For running, however, you want the pack to sit higher up and the weight to be not on your waist but more on your shoulders, or that's how I like it anyway. So for that, I use the shortest setting like that, and then tighten these zips down. Oop, not too much. Tighten these down so that the pack is sitting proud to my back and high up. I then wear this is higher up on my waist, so it's not interfering with my running action. Okay, having set it all up, I guess the next thing to do is to take it out for a run and see how comfortable it is. So I'm going to focus now on the running configuration, because that's what I bought it for. First thing I notice, well, obviously it's not as comfortable as the Salomon. You can tell you're wearing a pack, but having said that, it's pretty comfortable, and it doesn't chafe anywhere. There's the only pressure point when you've got it set up for running. Obviously you're carrying the weight on the shoulder, however you're carrying the weight on the front of your shoulders, and it does have some padding there. So, and the strap there is wide, so the force is well distributed. As I run along, there's very little movement in the pack, which is great. It's very little lateral movement or vertical movement, and there's no annoying rattles from the things inside. My pots and pans aren't rattling, which is great. Next, I'm taking it for a heading down an uphill, because in my experience that's when you get any chafing or you get any issues. That's what it is. But heading downhill, it's solid as a rock. It's not moving about. It's not causing me any balance issues. I can run fine in it, no problem. And running uphill again, it's fine. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I've no problem whatsoever running in the pack. So that's obviously a concern, that the weight of it is going to make it difficult to run. But with what I've got in the pack, I say it's got a bivy bag, my buffalo bag, my buffalo sleeping bag, which is, good for 3 or 4 seasons, and my cooking kit and some water. That all fits in. But it doesn't weigh. It's bulky, but it doesn't weigh a huge amount. So it's perhaps 4 kilos ish, maybe 5. So which is enough. I'm guessing if you were to load this thing full of lead weight water, then for running it would start to pull on the shoulders. So, but yeah, as long as you're careful with your packing like this, there was no issue. Yeah, so at the end of the run, I've got no pressure points, no discomfort anywhere. I would say the places it makes contact when running, because I'm not wearing it on the waist, I've kept the waist strap loose, and so the force is down the centre of my back, because the pack is full to capacity, so it's not lying flush against my back. It's only the middle of the pack which is against my back, and the front of my chest, where the wide part of the strap is making contact. And yeah, that's I think that's the best you can really hope for. Okay, in conclusion then, what do we think? Is the Salomon now a thing of the past? Is it going to be replaced all the time with the Montane Trailblazer 30? No. For every day, this is perfect. And even for full day efforts, it's perfect. You can get a lot of stuff in this. It's a great piece of kit. I love it. And so I will continue using this. However, when it comes to long efforts, where I want to carry more stuff, where I want to be able to carry bivy bag, sleeping bag, cooking kit, that sort of stuff, where I'm going for 2, 3 or 4 days, this is most definitely what I'll be using. I'm pretty happy with the purchase. It's comfortable. I can get enough stuff in it without, you know, carrying the kitchen sink. It does the job. So if you're thinking about some longer if you're looking for a day pack, the Salomon Advanced Skin 12 is a good buy. I would say get the one with the large capacity. Don't be tempted to get the 5 litre one, because you will be at one point going, I want to put a coat in it, and you won't have enough room. The 12 just gives you that extra capacity. You know, I can't fit a stove in there. If I want to put a stove in there and then pull it out when I have a brew halfway, I can fit my raincoat in it. It's a good compromise. But if you want to go a long way, you need a larger pack. And 30 litres is great. And I like Montane stuff. It lasts a long time. And buy once and keep it for a long time. So I've got a lot of my kit. I've had it for a long time. Buffalo shirt. I've had it for 25 years. Same with the Buffalo bag. I've had it for 20 plus years. The race vest I've had for 5 years. This I'm wearing now is really comfortable, and I've had this for 20 years. Buy good stuff. It lasts. And the Montane Trailblazer 30, I'm pretty sure is going to last. Okay, hope you found that interesting. Take care. I'll see you next time.